Welcome to Your Boo Handbook, a guide to help you enjoy Halloween all year long. Welcome back, Samsy Fansies. I have to credit that term to our first Samsy Fansy. Shout out to Mark.
OG.
Go, Mark. That's a fun name. Okay, so this episode we want to focus on the aftermath of Halloween. What we did basically the weekend after Halloween, because Halloween fell on a Thursday. Halloween Horror Nights ended after Halloween. Halloween night was not Halloween Horror Nights last night, and a local spot that we made a tradition to try to visit on Halloween, but because I worked so early, we couldn't make it on Halloween morning this year, so we did it that weekend. So how was Halloween Horror Nights for you?
Oh, it was great. I think we had like a really good time. The weather wasn't the best because it was still very hot, like through the through October. But I think we had like a lot of really good nights. Like we talked about before in the first episode, Sundays were really good. On Friday, we had a really good group too. And although we did wait a long time at a couple of the houses,
It was busy.
it was busy.
It was insane. Everything was like way over an hour.
Yeah, we did Depths of Fear in how long though? Like that didn't take very long.
It did say like 50 minutes, but it was only like
30.
So a lot of people think that because it's after Halloween and that it's technically November, that it won't be very busy these couple nights. But we found Facebook reminded me in 2015 that it was insanely busy after Halloween. Like
Did it
crazy
fall?
busy.
Did it fall similarly on a
It was definitely
Friday or something?
a weekend.
Oh.
So I think that a lot of people who have the frequent fear pass go that week, so it ends up being extremely packed. But apparently a friend of ours went on Saturday night and it wasn't as packed. But the weather was also beautiful. It was cooler outside, so a lot of people want to enjoy the last weekend that they can and enjoy the weather as well. So we found out which house was voted House of the Year.
Who votes on these anyways?
So I just asked the page and it's all internal. So the public doesn't vote on it.
Okay.
And that's what I assumed because it's always been some sort of like production thing. So like back when The Walking Dead won House of the Year, it wasn't necessarily for the production value or the characters. It was actually the whole team getting over 1,000 people through that house every hour. So they actually won House of the Year by their productivity and how many people they could get through the house.
That sounds like a business.
Right. It's
thing.
totally not like, so I don't know why House of Thousand Corpses won.
Doesn't matter your experience. Doesn't matter like the quality of it. Nothing.
Or the fans.
We churned out people, baby.
Yeah. The House of the Year this year was the House of a Thousand Corpses, which I understand if the fans voted for that, but I don't know like the internal reasoning for that, other than the trueness of it to the movie.
That's what you said. Yeah, you mentioned that it was very true to admittedly a
bizarre movie,
not good movie. Let's just put it like that. That shouldn't be an unpopular opinion.
I don't think it is. The scare zone of the year was Anarcade, which again is internally voted upon. But I think the visual effects, the ladies on the stilts, the neon lights, the smoke, fog, it was very cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. I did like that one a lot.
And then for next year, HHN 30, they already announced the dates. So everybody's counting down.
What days does it start?
It actually starts on a Thursday, which is the first time ever. So September 10th through Halloween. So Halloween is on a Saturday night next year.
Oh, man.
Apparently it's going to be a full moon.
On Halloween night?
That's what the memes are saying. I haven't checked the moon.
You haven't checked the lunar calendar? No? Oh. So.
And the clocks will go back.
To be verified.
Next year's HHN is one less night apparently than this year's, but they're combining it very densely. Like we said, our other tradition. What is our other tradition that we do locally for Halloween?
We actually go to a local cafe. It's not too far from our house, and they go full on crazy Halloween inside. They decorate literally floor to ceiling. Everything is covered with all these different like animatronics and these things. Basically everything.
Lots of severed heads.
Basically everything that you've ever seen at a Halloween like section of any store, they have. It's what do we sit next to? Oh, we sat next to It from the movie.
And Jake's.
The It thing, and
Oh,
like his
yeah.
arm shoots out of the storm drain, like about to get Georgie or whatever.
To grab you.
Yeah, to grab you, and it's cool. It's really cool. And then they have, I guess they had by the bathrooms, they had the skull on a throne, which I just got like the metaphor that you're going to the throne, I guess.
Oh, that's kind of funny. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that.
It's also large, and I'm sure that's the only spot that it would actually fit without being obtrusive. They have like electrical experiment thing stuff. Everything's getting like zapped, and
then, of course, they encourage guests to show up in costume because all of the employees, all the servers, are also dressed up. And our server was
a hamburger.
I think he had cheese.
Was he a cheeseburger?
Pretty sure he was a cheeseburger.
Well, whatever.
Oh, hamburgers. Nope, it's a cheeseburger.
It's a cheeseburger.
I also wore my
Your axe.
My axe on my headband, and everybody loved it because you have to be a little festive even after Halloween when you go to this.
And how much was it? And where did you get it?
I got it for $1. Oh my God, you're just saying that because the people made fun of me. So I got a compliment when we were waiting to be sat by some other guests at the restaurant. And they were like, "Oh my God, like I love your headband. Where did you get it?" And I was like, "I got it at the Dollar Tree."
For $1.
And they were like, "Thanks for clarifying. We never would have figured it out." Like they literally said that to me. I was just excited, guys. But they definitely laughed at me. Yeah. Not with me.
Yeah. Everyone laughs at you.
Hopefully, sometimes for good reasons. And then, of course, we took down all of our decorations, which is always a sad time of year. But that's the enjoyable thing. Halloween can't be all year long. Otherwise, it wouldn't be as special. So this is why we are calling this podcast Your Boo Handbook, because it's not just about Halloween. It's about spooky things, about getting scared.
Year round.
So we'll just have to see what's in store the rest of this year for spooky events and movies.
Fonzie fun fact time.
Oh, sure. Yes. Fonzie fun fact.
On this week's edition of Fonzie Fun Fact, I'm going to talk about something called memento mori. Memento mori actually means something in Latin. It means remember that you must die.
Everyone dies.
I know, but remember it. So this deals with like kind of our theme for the party, which was Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. So that's a time to remember that your time on Earth is finite. You know, you will become a skull in the ground or whatever.
We are a skull.
Yeah.
It's just living right now.
Yeah, well, there's some meat and skin around that.
A brain in there.
Well, no, hopefully. So they were back in the olden times, I guess in like the 15th century, 16th century, they would keep timepieces on their like around them, sort of on their desks and whatnot, and wherever they worked. And these timepieces, they could be like clocks, whatever the technology was at the time, or like a sand timer or whatever, as a reminder that your time on Earth grows shorter with each passing minute. And I saw that there were some old striking clocks where there would be like a figure, what they called an automaton, sort of a mechanical thing that was actuated by like the clock mechanism that would strike, on the hour, strike the bell or whatever it was. And they have a lot of those that are with a figure of death striking on the hour. A lot of these clocks are public clocks as well, so they all have these like inscriptions about death, and your time is limited. Tempus fugit, I think, is what it said.
Where?
These are like in public clocks in squares in Europe, Germany, and France and whatnot. I think most of them in Germany.
That acknowledge death.
Well, yeah. Well, death was so present. Like you
built the bodies into walls.
Well, you stubbed your toe and you could just die of plague the next day. So it's like.
So the fact that custom or that belief to be reminded to not just live in the moment, but to understand that you are going to die. It's not if we're going to die. Your
earthly existence is transient. It's temporary.
It's constant because
it's not constant.
Well, it's good to be constantly reminded because the longer you're living, the closer you are to your death.
Ooh, spooky.
Ooh, your Boo Handbook.
Halloween.